to one and all present over here. I, Mahima Thakkar from MSW HRM, take this opportunity to cordially welcome you all for this webinar on talent acquisition trends that will define 2022, which is organized by Faculty of Social Work, Parul University. Now, I would like to request in charge Dean, Faculty of Social Work, Dr. Deepak Makwana sir to give welcome address and introduce the guest for the webinar. Sir.
Good morning, all of you.
Good morning, sir.
And good morning, Chintan sir. I'm very glad to see you here on this webinar. It is my privilege to propose introductions about you. Mr. Chintan Trivedi sir is working in the ONGC Additions Limited. He is working as a Deputy Manager of Human Resources in corporate office in Baroda. Sir has more than 12 years of the experiences in working in the fields of HR. He has previous experiences about the Zydus Industries Private Limited, Deepak Nitrite Limited, Toto India Private Limited, and IDMC Limited. Sir has well qualified in education regarding graduate from MS University of Baroda, from Faculty of Commerce in the 2006, in specializations with accountancy and auditing. Then he has moved up from the Faculty of Social Work. He's completed Masters of Human Resource Management with specializations of HRM in the year 2009. Then sir is also pursuing PhD in Human Resource Management from the same university, MS University of Baroda, with the subject of impact of HR metrics on organizational effectiveness. Chintan sir is also associated with and achieved many organizations. He is performed as a duty of the treasurer in NHRD Baroda chapter. He is visiting faculty in Navachand University, Parul University, and also in Faculty of Social Work, because I know he is guiding and mentoring many students of the HR to become the good HR professionals. Sir is certified HR analytics. So very rich, very nice profile. So I welcome you, sir, in our Parul Institute of Social Work. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Deepak sir. Now, over to you, children, sir.
Shall we start?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah. So very good morning to all the students and faculty members and the dean, in charge dean, and professors who have joined the sessions. I'm exactly not aware who all are there because I can see all the names only on Professor Sutri. But a very pleasant morning to all of you. The topic that has been given for today's session is talent acquisition that will define the year 2022. I'll just, first, before we go to the presentation, I just would like to, set the tone for the presentation so that, we will be aligned with the subject. So we are all aware of that, in last couple of years or last 3-4 years, we have been struggling with the COVID pandemic and the job market scenarios, and the trends in the recruitment and the talent acquisition market has, seen a very difficult stage. So all of that, has make an impact on the HR profession and the workman segments. So during this period also, there were many job cuts, many layoffs, many new technologies introduced, and many things that we have seen. Apart from this, we have witnessed in the year 2021 there is something called big resignation or great resignations that also was there. So considering all of these, how or what could be the trend that will set a tone for the year 2022 that we will need to discuss, or we'll check it today. So I'll just share my presentation. Hope it's visible to you.
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Okay. So what we mean by effective hiring, or what we mean by a good talent acquisition or better talent acquisition. A better talent acquisition or the effective hiring involves predicting the performance of people that you probably don't know. Because you are going to hire someone from the labor market or from the job market, and you are probably not even aware about that person, and you are going to predict how he is going to perform in my organization, or how he is going to contribute to the bottom line of my organization. That is what the effective hiring, or that is what we call the uh, a good talent acquisition practices. So some of the people, globally renowned people has said something about talent acquisition. A senior vice president from people operations of Google, uh, he has said that set an incredible high bar for talent and quality, and never ever compromise on the quality. It's also important to be objective and make an unbiased hiring decision. I urge you, set a high standard and hold your clients to it. It's better to grow slowly and have higher quality people. Okay. So he's basically talking about the quality of hiring. That will be one of the trend, or one of the significant things that we are going to witness in the year 2022 or in the coming years. Okay. Another person, we all know him, Richard Branson. He is a founder of Virgin Group. You might have heard about the Virgin Loops, Hyperloops, and all that. So he's one of the person behind all that ideas. So he said that hiring the right people takes time, the right questions, and the healthy dose of curiosity. So you need to invest your time into making a talent acquisition strategies right, to select the right people or to fit right people in your organization. That what is going to be the talent acquisition trends for the year coming in. So you all have heard about it. I'm not going to take much time on all this theory of what talent acquisition is, how it is different from recruitment and all that. That is a part of your course, definitely. So, uh, but talent acquisition means, recruiting the right people at the right time for the right cost structure in the right location. That is the definition given in the books, and we all know about it. It is the process of finding and acquiring skilled human labor for organizational needs and to meet any labor requirement. The talent acquisition team within a company is responsible for. There are some purpose behind that. So for finding, acquiring, assessing, and hiring candidates to fill roles that are required to meet company goals and fill project requirement. So talent acquisition is basically different from recruitment in 2 or 3 sense, that you are going to find a candidate, then acquire that candidate, then you are going to assess that candidate, and then you hire the candidate based on his capabilities or his performances or his competencies, you can say, which can fulfill your company's goals or company's requirement, or who is aligned to your company's vision and mission in a way. So talent acquisition is all about this. Okay. So talent acquisition strategies basically talks about the three things. One is planning, another is speed, and third one is execution. So there are basically three things that talks about is one is quality, another thing is turnaround time that we generally in our industry we call it TAT, that is turnaround time, in how much time you basically fill the position. Okay, and maximizing the number, that is the quality number. Okay, so that's it about talent acquisition, and there are different sources of talent acquisitions that we are aware of. So one is social media, we all are using right now. We are sending messages on WhatsApp and LinkedIn and all that, and people are applying for the job. So social media has become one of the great modes of recruitment or talent acquisition nowadays that we all know. Then rehires, that we know, shift from active tools like the traditional newspaper advertisement and other things, mobile technology, 360-degree approach in talent acquisition, community and all that, internal promotions, basically employer branding. So a better brand attracts better people, assessment centers, maintaining parity, satellite location hiring, diversity hiring, increasing focus on employee referrals. These are all a part of talent acquisitions modes of recruitment. So in the beginning, we talk about something called a great resignation, or a big resignation that has happened in the year 2021. So anyone is aware about this?
Students, please respond.
We'll make a session, interactive. We are not. I'm not going to
No,
talk
sir.
around all the sessions, and then we'll have question and answer at the end.
Yes, sir.
We need to be participative. I need your participation, otherwise I'll get bored. So have you heard about this big resignation or great resignation?
No, sir.
Okay, then let's see what exactly it is. Hope you will be able to see the video.
It is visible, sir.
Sir, voice is not audible in this video.
Is it not audible?
No, sir. No, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Sir, video is not audible. Your voice is audible, but in the video you are playing, it is not audible to us.
I think then you need to check with your host or IT person there.
Okay, sir, but
Because I can listen it. I'm able to listen to it. Anyways, just look at the numbers, what exactly it is, you know.
sure, sir, sure.
Okay, so the basic idea about uh, showing you all this video is, you know, the background that, you know, that has set up in the year 2021. Many people have quit their jobs despite having no jobs. You know, many people have been laid off due to business is not running or business has been shut down due to COVID. And there is a shift in labor market. You know, people are accepting the jobs they are not supposed to, or they are accepting the jobs different than what they are doing earlier, and that trend is about to increase, by 55%. So you have heard that 55% of Americans are about to relook for a job in the coming years. That is all about America. Now, what is there in India? What is the scenario that we have in India? We'll see. You know, so why all these things are happening? Why all these things are happening? This is the answer. So there was a survey done by the future work of the future of work report, and they say that by Monster India, it says that 93% of employers are planning to hire throughout the year 2022, which is 11% higher than 2021. So job opportunities are going to be there, which are 11% higher than 2021 in the year 2022, because probably we are not out of the COVID scenario, but yes, job opportunities have become wider. Industries are opening up, people are accepting the different kind of jobs, technology has got advanced. There are so many reasons. Another shift that we are seeing is you can see this side is the minding millennials, and this is what it is. This is very difficult. Hello. So 90% of millennials prefer benefit over a salary increase. So the trend has changed now. Earlier, we were looking for, salary increase, or, just money and other things. Now people are thinking about benefits also, because COVID has given us that kind of scenario. So people are looking forward for, medical benefits, hospitalization, welfare, and other things also, along with the job, along with the salary. 63% of millennials feel their leadership skills are not being honored by their company. And only 4% of HR managers think they know how to manage millennials. So there is a wider gap that we can see, So what are the benefits of being a positive candidate, or providing the positive candidate experience? That is all about recruitment, or what about talent acquisition is. So 97% of candidates with a positive experience refer other candidates. So if you have a person in your company who is having a better experience, or having a better perseverance about your organization, which is we call an employer branding. Okay. So it is most likely that he will refer someone else to your organization, okay, about the job or about the opening. And 55% of the candidates would tell their social network about the positive experience about your organization or about yourself. Or conversely, negative candidate experience can cost you considerably financial losses in the long run. So one bad recruitment will cost you, what you can expect in the future. Now, to tackle all the challenges brought out by the pandemic, recruiting teams should have to adapt to the technologies and find newer and better ways to build talent ecosystem. So they have to map with the technologies. They have to think about, how to make the candidate experience better, how to manage the millennials, how to manage their expectations. These are all going to be the challenges for the recruiters now, or for the industries. There are 3 success factors in transforming the recruitment nowadays. One is develop your 21st century recruiter from within. Within means from your team itself, from the company itself. Define or redefine what qualified is. Okay. So the definitions of qualification or definition of what a qualified person is has changed Now you have to assess the potential, assess for the potential. So assessment center or development centers, you might have heard or you might have learned about it. That will become the essentials now, and deliver differentiated candidate experience that we were talking about, in the earlier slide. So that will going to make a really different, or really will have a different kind of impressions on the coming candidates. Okay. And how we are using the social media. So 94% of recruiters use or plan to use social media for recruitment. Okay. 70% of recruiters plan to increase their investment in social media recruitment, and 49% of employers who use social media found improvement in candidate quality. So social media, we all are using all these applications, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Google, and Instagram. We all know the one most used for the job is not there, that is LinkedIn, which is a part of Microsoft now. So it is also there. It is one of the social sites. Okay. So now let us look into the past. What exactly have been in the 2021. What were the top 5 recruiting priorities in 2021? This is not what this is not what I am saying. This is I have taken from some of the surveys or some of the studies have been done. Okay, so the source is JobVite survey 2021. So there are top 5 recruitment priorities in the year 2021. The first one is improving quality of hire, that we were discussing in the first or second slide. Improving the quality of recruitment, quality of hire, that has increased by 52%. Increased retention rate. So now people are not focusing more on retention, yes, but they are considerably. So increasing retention rate is 24%. Improving time to hire, TAT, 23%. Growing talent pipeline means succession planning, 22%. And diversity hiring. Diversity hiring, we will talk later, but you might be aware about the diversity and inclusion, that the buzzword right now. People are talking most about it, diversity ratio, gender ratio, and all that. So that has increased by 22%. What were the top recruitment concerns during the pandemic time? So by percentage wise, if you go remote onboarding or training challenges. So people were not available, offline. You need to make them aware about the company, aware about the product lines, induction and all that training online, remote. So that were one of the most concerns that we as an HR professional have felt. Remote hiring, we are assessing people online. We are recruiting people through video conferencing or interviewing. We are not checking their credentials, or we are not checking the performance of by way the different tools we were used to doing it. So that were one of the concerns. Candidates uncertainty on job security. Yes, basically because the industries were shaking, so candidates were also not aware about their job security. And economic anxiety inside the organization. Earlier one, even organization is not aware that what is going to happen maybe in the coming period of time. So during pandemic time, all healthcare industries, hospitals and medicals and pharma industries, that have been boomed like anything. And the industries like hotel, airlines, and transportations, that has gone down. We all know about that. So by percentage wise, if you can see that I have just categorized it. Biggest recruitment challenges that have been found is finding qualified experience hire. It is still a concern. It is still a challenge. Finding qualified experience hires. So it is a 61%. It is a concern that it's a challenge. We are not being able to find a qualified people for the job, identifying full-time talent with right skills, then finding qualified entry-level hires. We are not even getting the qualified hires at entry level. When we go for campus recruitment, we are not being able to find people we are looking for. So that is also one of the challenge. Articulating accurate talent brand, employer branding, talent brand, onboarding employee in a timely fashion, ineffective recruitment technology. So what kind of technology that we use also is a concern. And constructing appealing job offers. So what kind of job do we offer to an employee? That's also a problem. If we are not being able to create a candidate experience or employee experience, then probably we will not be going to survive in the organization. Nowadays, we are all hiring, all listening about AI or the analytics and all that things in recruitment also. So benefits of AI that we can see is 100% in that update in workflow, 75% cost reduction per screen, 35% decrease in turnover, and 4% increase in revenue per employee. So these are the benefits of AI in recruitment. The most things that you may see is that 4% increase in revenue per employee. That is the biggest thing that any businessman or a business person would like to see. And what another survey that has been done which talks about what employees or what candidates want from the job. One is definitely a salary, that is 67%, benefits 63%, location, basically preferred location or a location where the families are, because COVID pandemic has impacted in such a way that people would like to stay with their family. So again, location is 59%. Commuting time, that also is a concern. So 43% employees have given their. Hello.
Yes, sir. Please continue.
Yeah, and employee review. Employee review means how you are going feedback to the employees, how you are recognizing or rewarding the employees. That also, what candidates wants from the job. So employee wants them to be recognized. Employee wants them to be rewarded for their performances, and they want them to be, socially or recognized in front of the media or people, so that they have the every people wants to have the recognition in the organizations. Now there was a survey done by a prominent organization called Korn Ferry, and they have talked about the trends of recruitment or talent acquisition for the year 2022. We will focus on it by one. There are 10 things. Yeah. So one thing is that they have talked about is resignations. So though COVID-19 has made an impact, jobs people are looking for, but resignation is only going to get worse. And COVID-19 was one of the taste case that we all didn't want it, but yes, we have seen it. So a recent Korn Ferry survey shows that 55% of professionals believe employee turnover will increase in 2022. So people are going to leave the jobs, and people are going to accept different kinds of jobs in the coming year of 2020 and 22. 5 months has already been passed, and we are going to witness another 7 or 8 months. Let's see what is there in the year 2022. Another thing is hidden in plain sight. So the people you have will become the people you need. So you have to create the customer experience, the company, the candidate experience, the employee experience. The facing a talent shortage means organizations will start to focus more on internal mobility. You need to promote your internal people. You need to focus on your internal people's potentials. You need to develop their talents. You need to think about developing or growing the talent within. You need to provide them the trainings, resources, and everything. Okay. And reskilling and upskilling of the employees, what of the training that we are talking about. So reskilling and upskilling. So if people are aware about something, you need to reskill them, or you need to refresh their knowledge about that particular things, and you also need to upgrade them. You need to upskill them about the recent things, or recent technology advancement that are happening in the market. Okay. So one is talent shortage, and another thing is internal mobility. Third thing is onboarding. So what kind of experience you are going to provide to a new hire, that will make the game about the job. So new approaches to onboarding, more ambiguity, more structure. So we know that what onboarding means. So how you provide induction to a new joinee, that will create a impression about the organization to a person. Okay. First day on the job used to means less formality and more organic connections. In a remote world, though, organizations will have to structure the entire onboarding process so that they can stay close to new hires even if they are physically far away. This also means engaging new hires before they even start and encouraging
મને ખબર કે મેં કેટલું વાંચીને આવું છું.
Please requesting everyone to mute their mic.
Okay. So people have, some of the companies, if you are aware about the few companies, Indigo and other companies, they have started new ways of onboarding. They have created virtual reality for virtual reality Boeings and all that for their employees onboarding things. So they can have the actual image or actual things in present on the screen of the these candidates, and they feel that they are at the premise or they are at the organization itself. So that kind of technologies are or has been developed now. You might have heard about the virtual reality, the glasses and all that you might have seen. So
Yes,
onboarding. Fourth thing is reduced travel. So not cleared for takeoff means reduced travel. So 76% of survey respondents say that miss traveling for work. So saving corporate cash by traveling less. So that is also one of the trend. So pandemic has helped us in that way. Thanks to that pandemic, the pace of business travel has slowed dramatically and will continue to stay that way. Travel to see internal colleagues will virtually cease. And when it comes to recruiting, organizations are saving in-person interviews for the final rounds of the hiring process and for mostly senior roles. But again, the cost of traveling has reduced, but the cost of quality hiring has increased. Fifth thing is incentives. So pulling out of all sports. So we need to define new ways of, new methods for incentivizing candidates to join and employees to stay, both the things. So again, the basic premises that we were talking about, creating the employee experience and the candidate experience. So we need to create some of the things which will attract the new talent and which will help us in retaining the talent that we have. Okay. So incentives. So 31% of survey respondents says that they would quit their job even if they didn't have another line up, just because incentives or benefits or other things are not there. Okay. And 32% of survey respondents say that they don't think they will ever go back into the office full time. Work from home culture. So TikTok is already there now. Sustainability, going green is another thing. Enhance actions on sustainability. So candidates are doing their research to see if prospective employer, like the organizations, are doing work that will move the needle on environmental and social issues. Okay, so they are the candidates or the recruitment team or the people who we are going to hire, they are more aware about the social concerns now or environmental concerns now. They are visiting your website, they are visiting what activities we are doing for the environment or for the community. And in response, organizations are measuring sustainability objectives and being transparent about their process in order to differentiate themselves in a competitive labor market. You know, every organizations nowadays are doing social audit or environmental audit, sustainability audit, and they are putting their actual data on their websites so that it is being very transparent and people can know what organization is doing about these all concerns. Earlier we have talked about it, diversity, equity, and inclusion. So representation matters. Casting a wider net in the search for talent. So an inclusion and engaging culture is better for everyone. We are seeing, in nearby our organizations, we are also seeing this kind of trend is going on. Most of the companies on the Harold belt after MG Motor has started their operations. So most of the companies in Harold belt have started hiring, or they have started the ratio of diversity and inclusion in their organizations. So 30% or 40% women employees are or need to be hired, or that kind of ratio they will maintain. That is the policy now. So even there are policies to hire LGBTQs and PWDs, the physically challenged employees. So this trend is nowadays are going on, and we need to focus on this because it is a need of an hour. After all, candidate experience is everything. So taking accountability for easing the talent shortage, what the most important thing is the candidate experience. So due to high employee turnover, leaders are now taking a step back and finding out why people are leaving their company or even the workforce. They are taking strategic steps to address the pain points in order to increase recruiting success. This includes focusing more on candidate experience and engagement rather than bringing more people on the door. So rather than hiring more people, they are focusing on creating the employee experiences and candidate experiences. And how we all this is being done? This is being done through the data. Data means analytics, matrix and analytics, and AI. So all are there, technologies and everything will be there, but don't forget about the human touch. It is always required. It will always be there. The simplifying new technologies to focus on candidate experience. So you need to simplify the technology. Technology will be there and it will be useful. You need to use the technology, but you need to simplify it so that you can create a better candidate experience. Okay. And reducing bias, making hiring more equitable, transparent. Okay. There should not be any bias. So rooting out bias to create equitable hiring practices. So when it comes to a hiring, you need to create an equality. You need to think about the equality in each and everyone. if you have a bias about some processes or people or gender or caste or anything, that will not going to work now. Okay. So these are some of the things that Korn Ferry has uh, updated. Some of the things that I also have found out during my reading. There are, that things are going to have the trends that we are going to focus in the year 2022. So these are some of the things that I have found out. One thing is multi-channel recruitment. So now people are focusing more on multi-channel recruitment. So not only for one position, people are focusing on multi channels. Like they're promoting on social media, they are promoting through advertisement, they are promoting through referrals. So they are using many things just for one position or just to attract one good candidate, and that is going to be a trend. So hiring a quality candidate or creating a better employee experience or customer experience or candidate experience, we are going to use a multi-channel or multi-level recruitments. Okay. What other things matters is, the recruiter's expertise, how expertise or how knowledgeable or how competent your recruiters are or the recruitment person is. That will also, going to be one of the challenge. If the recruitment person is just involved there for the recruitment, just for the sake of recruitment, then probably that might be a concern. You need to teach him or her about the new ways of hiring, the strategies, talent acquisition strategies, analytics, metrics, and other things. Okay. Then another thing is that what I can found out is we need to focus more now on proactive recruitment. Reactive recruitment we have focused more in the past. Now we have to be proactive about the recruitment. We need to forecast the things that are going to come up, and we need to be, we need to react on that. So we need to be proactive, we need to predict the things, and that will all happen with the help of AI and automation and recruitment analytics. So these are the trends that are going to be there in the coming years, and it is already there. We need to focus now on this. And another thing is focus on diversity, inclusion, and equity. It is already there. We have discussed about it. There are another 3 points. This is, this is a gist that I have kept. So the focus on employee well-being has increased due to pandemic. So we need to be more vigilant about employee well-being. So it talks about caring environment, health, or the employees, that is physical health, mental health, whatever you say. And you need to create wellness programs. We have seen multiple kind of wellness program during the pandemic time, but it should not happen that, that was there because of pandemic, and it gets stopped because pandemic is not there. We need to make it continue, because mental health and physical health is now is becoming a more concern for the employees. Managing the risk of detachment. So you need to keep your employees engaged. Detachment is a very dangerous nowadays. So you need to keep your employees motivated. You need to create team spirit. You need to create friendly teams. You need to create team bonding, and you need to keep meeting your employees, create awareness among them. You need to be very transparent about your business, about your what is going on in the business. You need to share everything, each and everything with your workers, colleagues, and peers. And after that, HR personalization. So what it means, you need to focus on compelling tasks. Your task should be compelling. Your task should be, challenging, provide learning and benefits, and work from home or office. That is there in our kitty now. So in a nutshell, what all this says, some of the people have says something different about all these things that we'll focus now on. So the post pandemic hiring recovery will continue to be tremulous in 2022, that we have already witnessed, that resignations will going to increase, that we'll know. So there will be intense increase in hiring demand, fierce competitions for talent that is going to be there, and an overhaul of the employee experience to meet candidate expectations. So someone called Jennifer Shapley, a vice president of global talent acquisition at LinkedIn, has said that 2022 will pose its own challenges, but the market gives us in recruiting a fantastic chance to refresh our message and to go out there and highlight the reasons we work at the companies we do. This could be a once in a career situation where talent acquisition is so central to the business success, and talent acquisition leaders can step more into that business leader's role. So now there is a chance that, the talent acquisition people will get aligned with the business leader's role, you know. And so the typical recruitment practice of screening out that we were doing, we were receiving the applications, and then we were screening out most of the people based on criteria, education, age, qualification, and blah 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 things. So now that is going to be replaced by screening in kind of experience, that we'll focus more on hiring for competencies and training on a particular role. Okay, so in all this, the bottom line is that the supply chain of talent will cost more in the coming years of 2022 than the prior years. That is the bottom line about what we have discussed in the entire presentation. Okay, and in a nutshell, these 5 things are there. So these are 5 talent acquisition trends summarizing the entire presentation that we have seen today. One is data-driven talent acquisition and recruiting strategies will be stable stick for every single organization. So now whosoever or whatever we are learning from our books, or from the strategies or from the theories, will have to be backed up by the data. So analytics or data-driven approach has to be aligned with all these things. So you need to learn about the metrics, you need to learn about the analytics, you need to learn about the predictive realities, how to predict the things. So it is all there, a part of analytics and AI. Then personalized, intelligent nurturing will be the biggest key to providing a premier customer experience or candidate experience. Okay. Then talent acquisition leaders who prioritize internal mobility will be the ones who retain top talent. So you need to focus more on your internal people. You need to focus more on employee experience. You need to focus more on employee engagement. That will, cater more on your employer branding, and that will cater, or that will lead to the better candidate experience. Then distributed workforce will remain intact, making worker engagement a differentiator. Okay, and employee wellness will be a big focus for business leaders, including those in talent acquisition. Okay, so this is all what is there is going to be in the year 2022. We have already witnessed in the last 4 to 5 years, and let's see what will be there in the coming 7 to 8 months. So I think we are at 12:20 right now, and I am leaving this 10 minutes for questions if you have any.
Student, you may please ask your question. You may unmute yourself and ask the question.
Hope my speed and language and everything was okay.
Sir,
Yes, sir.
sir, what is the meaning of AI recruitment?
I'm not been able to listen to you properly.
Sir, what is the meaning of AI recruitment? AI recruitment?
Hello.
Sir, he is asking what is the meaning of AI recruitment?
AI recruitment. AI means artificial intelligence. We are all talking about. You know that artificial intelligence is playing a big role nowadays in every sphere of our life. So AI recruitment means using artificial intelligence in the recruitment or in the talent acquisition. So nowadays, what people are doing is, people are doing interviews through robo. People are making candidate experiences through what you can say chatbots and all that. That you might have seen somewhere. If you open a banking app or insurance app or something, there is a pop-up will be there, which is called a chatbot. Okay, and when you type your questions, it will say that, how may I help you. Then if you type your questions, the answer will be there. Okay, so your role, your physical role will not be there. AI has taken over that role, and it will provide a quality experience to the person who is at the receiving end. Hope I am able to answer you.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, next question, please.
Sir, my question is that you are talking about employees retention in a company. So how can the percentage is shown by in PPT? So it is the exact figure that employees retention is that percentage.
I didn't get you.
Sir, I mean to yes, employees retention. Yes, this in this PPT you are telling about the increasing in retention rate. So, what is that mean? Increase in positive way or in negative way?
No, no, see the slide, see the topic or see the title of the topic, the slide. These top 5 recruiting priorities. That is a priority. That people, who are in the company or who are in the recruitment business, that they have defined that, these are going to be the 5 topmost priority in the coming year or in the year of 2021. In the year 2021, people have focused more on retaining the people in the organization. So 24% of organizations have said that their priority were to retaining the talent.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so
Yes, sir.
maybe people are attrition rate may be very much higher. That we have already seen that 2021 we have seen the scenario of big resignations and layoffs and job cuts and everything was there. But at the same time, you need to focus on your business also. You have to run the business, so you have to retain the key talent. So your focus, the 24% organizations have focused more on retaining or increasing retention rate in the organization. Okay.
Okay, get it, sir.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, kindly suggest, being a fresher, which job portals we need to be knowing about, or we need training on it.
Job portal nowadays, people are using it, but people are using it in a very, very, very different way. So job portals have not been changed. It is the same that we were going to use. We were using it, back in 2008-9. Same are there. Naukri.com. Yes, it is one of the prominent one. Monster. There are more are added. People are focusing more now on LinkedIn as one of the most job search engine. It is one of the it is there. Then Indeed is one, Ambition Box is one, there are so many things, but Naukri.com is still a market leader. You may look into it, and you may take a training on that. There are different kind of search available. You need to know what kind of search will provide what kind of results, and but focus more on learning social media sites recruitment, like recruitment through LinkedIn. It is very people are not finding it very easy. It is it is a very niche kind of a skill that is required for handling such kind of recruitment. And apart from this, we may be knowing about the recruitment portals, or the Naukri.com or any other kind of portals, but we are not aware about the skills that are required in handling all these things. So resume parsing, or understanding the resumes, or understanding the position, job description, job qualification specifications, uh, the requirement of the organizations, aligning the job with the goals of the organizations, and all that. So that is the most priority, rather than understanding the recruitment portal. That's what's my personal opinion. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah.
Am I audible, sir?
Yeah.
So my question is, how the technologies like virtual reality can help in recruiting, or what we can say in the talent acquisition. Like the NASA has done the same procedure for recruiting the employees through the medium of VR. So how India or the corporations or organization in India can take the same similar step for the recruiting or the talent acquisition?
In India, some of the organizations are already using it. I have seen some of the organizations like Mahindra Agro and Mahindra Tech. They have started using VR for recruitment and induction kind of purpose. It is helping because where you are not being able to get what exactly the talent pool, or what exactly the potential that you are looking into the candidate, and you want to experience the candidate through a virtual case, because in the pandemic time, physical presence, or providing a physical case is not possible. You can provide a virtual case to an employee, a gaming case through gamification on a virtual reality, and you can assess the potential of the candidate through it. We are also using it, in a different way, not for recruitment, but for some different things.
Oh,
We are using it for potential appraisals of the candidates. Candidate means or own employees.
okay. Thank you, sir.
So earlier we used to think that games are only for fun, or games are only for childs and kids to play on video games. We give them, and they were playing on, and it is not for any means and purpose. Now gamification in the industry has become something like, which is going to change the entire market. Okay. We are using games in the training. We are using games for defining the performance of the employees. We are using game for solving the major problems. Yes, and that too through virtual reality.
Okay,
Okay,
is there any
fine.
other question?
In the pandemic times, I think all of us have witnessed this. For time pass, we must have played Ludo with our friends and other peoples. This all is all about, it is all virtual reality kind of a thing.
I hope there are no more questions.
I'm open to take one or two if they have.
Please post your question. If you have any query, please let us know.
or even after the sessions, if they have any questions, I'll share the presentations with you. You can share it with the students, and if they have any queries, you can collect from them, and
Sure, sir.
I'll definitely respond to that.
Sure, sir. Definitely. So with this, we can conclude our session today. So Chintan sir, thank you so much for being present here. We have been in touch since quite a long time, and we were planning to organize this webinar for our students. So today we have finally organized it, and it was very, very helpful for our students, because being a social worker, they are going to work in different industries, and for them recruitment is the major part. Like talent acquisition is the first thing that the HR person, the duty that he is going to perform. So all the aspects that you have covered, right from social media recruitment, what is the role of AI, everything, it was up to the mark, and definitely it is quite relevant in the practical field also. So on behalf of Parul Institute of Social Work, our Dean in charge, Dr. Satish Bodla sir, all the faculty members, our academic directors, the students, we thank you so much for being present here and addressing our students. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. And I'm sorry that I was not been able to provide time during last couple of months. Finally, today we got a time, and we were there.
Yes,
So
sir.
I'm happy that I spare us time for the students and for your faculty of social work. I'm associated with earlier also, and I'm glad to be associated in the future as well.
Yes.
Hope this association will be mutually beneficial to the students and to people like us as a professionals. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Definitely, sir. Thank you. We will have such kind of sessions ahead in future, hoping for the best.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.